And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Anderson Varejao?
Well, I think what Varejao tries to do is wear down his opponent, both mentally and physically. He gets in your head with his constant movement and his bumping and grabbing, but he also really understands what he's trying to do offensively, which is roll to the rim, catch the ball on the move, and finish plays either in transition or in offensive rebounding situations.
Yeah, you know what? It goes beyond bumping. He'll make you work wherever he is on the floor by boxing you out, hustling for loose balls and things like that. When you have to guard Varejao, there is no letting up from him. Well, it was the New Orleans Pelicans winning their last game against the Charlotte Bobcats.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have. Well, Monte Ellis has never been short on confidence, and last year he went as far as comparing himself to Dwayne Wade, saying the only difference between them is that Wade has rings. That's a pretty big difference, though.
And you talk about the talent and confidence for Monte Ellis. Steve, what's the balance between confidence and like overconfidence?
Well, I think the balance is in your decision making, and that's the trickiest thing for really talented young players to figure out. It's just when to attack and when to back off a little bit. And that's all stuff that just comes with experience.
Now, here's Rubio. Kicks to Duncan. Rubio dishes to Shumpert. Shot clock at 6. And it's Rubio penetrating for the three. And the three is knocked down. Deep ball good and a nice shot from Shumpert.
Poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at that three-point shot.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I briefly spoke with Jeff Hornacek. He said a big key for them will be containing Carlos Boozer offensively, adding, he's a player who can spread the floor with his jump shot or take you down the block, and it's tough to match his strength inside. Defensively, they'll look to keep length in front of him and limit his offensive rebounding. Sounds like a good game plan, guys. We'll see how they do it.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Ellis. After the made shot from Varejao, Ellis kicks to Harden. The feed to Green. New Orleans moving the ball around. Here's Harden on the wing. 11 points last game. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
After taking a year to play elsewhere, it seemed Gerald Green finally found his role on an NBA team in the 2011-12 season, but he just couldn't find the traction expected with the Indiana Pacers last year.
Free throw good, Green. And for Gerald Green, a 3-year, $9 million contract with the Pacers to start last season.
Yeah, they were hoping for more out of him, Kevin. He just never really settled into a role with the Pacers, and that was disappointing because Indiana's bench, I thought, really showed some weaknesses during that great playoff run they had.
And both free throws good for Green.
Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
Outside jumper. Rubio outside. He dishes it to Duncan. Green with the rebound. For the Phoenix Suns, they're coming off a good outing against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, they really struggled shooting the ball in that game, but still came away with the win. They obviously had to pick up the slack in a lot of areas, and they did it.
Yeah, and Steve, I think that says an awful lot about them as a team when they're able to win despite shooting that poorly.
And here's Rubio. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Shumpert passes to Rubio. Rubio gets a screen from Duncan. Rubio dishes to Varejao. Now the pass to Kirilenko. He feeds it to Duncan. Baseline J on the way, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first.
Well, you know, Jeff Hornacek, the new coach of the Phoenix Suns, a 14-year career as an NBA shooting guard, and he was terrific as a player. Spent his first 6 in Phoenix and only recently really got into coaching, starting as an assistant with the Jazz in early 2011.
Here's Rubio after Carlos Boozer's score. And Rubio kicks to Duncan. Out to Shumpert. Now the dish to Kirilenko. Pass to Rubio. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Duncan up on top. Phoenix needs to get off a shot. Looking to end the run. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Monte Ellis last year. 4th in steals. And he became a real offensive threat. One of the top 15 scorers in the game.
He also managed to be top 5 in steals as well, Steve, and that was significant. I mean, he was really good at lulling ball handlers to sleep, giving them kind of a false sense of security, and then he'd pounce on it as it was being dribbled to the floor. And he got a lot of his pilfers that way.
And back to Coach Hornacek, the 16th coach in Suns franchise history. He's raised his 3 kids in Phoenix. Steve, he's put down roots there. Looks like he would like to stay for the long term.
Well, he was a tremendous player for the Suns back during the prime of his career. So this is a great fit, coaching the Suns. A guy who played the game with tremendous intelligence and an even-keeled demeanor. Should serve him well as a head coach.
Anderson, he's checked in for the Suns. Jamison comes in for Tim Duncan. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Monty Williams address his team. First thing he said to his players was that the transition game will be the single most important factor today. He wants them to push the tempo at every opportunity. He also wants them using a fundamental offensive approach. Specifically, he'd like to see them running the pick and roll as often as they can. Guys, we'll just have to watch how it plays out here in the first half. Kevin, back to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris.
A lot of people had Antoine Jamison, guys, pegged as a potential 6th man of the year when he joined the Lakers, but he basically ended up being relegated to being a role player on the bench. An important part of the rotation, but the fewest minutes he averaged in his career.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Johnson, he's checked in for Kirilenko. And Lee's subbed in for Iman Shumpert. Prince, the pass to Green. Back to Prince. Passes it to Ellis. Shoots the 3. Pelicans keep it alive. Zhang goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Antoine Jamison picks one up.
Wonderfully instinctive play right there. Sense just where that rebound was going, and it becomes an easy 2 for him.
Well, Clark, maybe they've had too many easy buckets tonight.
Well, it's something that needs to change. I mean, they should not be getting all these easy dunks off offensive putbacks.
Jackson, he's checked in for Phoenix. And Antoine Jamison, a versatile scorer. The flip shot in the lane, range out beyond the 3-point arc. He has a full bag of those kind of shots.
He does. He's got an interesting game, Kevin. He's been able to hit that in-between floater for a long time, but he's got better with the 3-point shot as he's gotten older. I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
41 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Ellis dishes to Harden. Pass to Green. Feeds to Prince. Harden kicks to Ellis. New Orleans moving the ball around. Here's Dang. Again, the Pelicans score.
Defensively, this team is just giving up way too many open looks.
You're exactly right, and to battle back, they've got to shore that defense up, Steve.
Poke loose. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. Ellis with the ball. They get it back, and that one's good. Harden's got 5 points so far. 7 seconds left to play in the first. Here's Jamison. The shot is off. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. New Orleans on top, up by 12. And back with the start of the second quarter.
find a way to get it done. Courtney Lee making the most of his minutes. Iman Shumpert has also been getting it going for them.
Let's start things off with a look at what's coming up later tonight.
The Houston Rockets will be playing out against the Trailblazers in Portland. That one gets going.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. You have to like what we're seeing from Green.
He is a dynamic scorer, guys. That much we know. And I'll tell you what, his talent was on full display there in the first half.
Steve, he is a hard man to keep down, and so far, they've been unable to do it.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Ricky Rubio is out there with Iman Shumpert. And it's Andre Kirilenko. Then there's Duncan. And it's Verejao in at the 5 down low.
Great move to the hoop, and I love the finger roll finish.
Pelicans leading by 12.
You know, one of the big things that Iman Shumpert brings to the team is his pressure defensively on the perimeter. When you have a guard like him who can go out and bother ball handlers, they can really take an opponent out of its offense.
Now let's send it to Doris on the sideline.
Guys, it might surprise you that when James Harden was back in college at Arizona State, he had an influence you might not guess. Former NBA player and coach Doug Collins, who often visited Phoenix. Harden said, quote, "He taught me a lot. He mentored me, told me I had to have a motor. I was nonchalant, just sort of chill. My sophomore year, the reason I came back to college was to learn to build my motor up. He was the reason for that." Guys, always great to have that kind of guidance along the way.
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris.
He's really dedicated himself, and we've seen the results on the court.
Timeout called, the Suns. And Shumpert had that ACL tear in the 2012 playoffs, but after missing the first month and a half, Clark, I thought he bounced back pretty well.
I'd say he did. I mean, there was some concern. His game is really predicated on his athleticism at this point, but he looked pretty good. Not a great outside shooter, but he cut his turnovers down and showed he could still elevate for some spectacular finishes and was not bad shooting the ball from the three-point line.
And the foul on Monte Ellis. That is his first foul of the game. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession.
Well, let's take a look now at some numbers for Anderson Verejao. What a year he had last season. He averaged about 14 points a game, 14 rebounds, and 3 assists. And it wasn't an easy year for him last season, so he really wants to work hard and improve and make up for it this year.
And you know what, Steve? If he plays like he can this season, people will more than forgive him for his play last year.
6 to shoot. Here's Shumpert. Kept alive. Here's Kirilenko. Here's Duncan, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And Kevin, what stands out to me is his array of moves down on the low block. The low post scoring, back to the basket game. That's what he does, and that's a valuable weapon for a team to have.
And we can't forget to mention his rebounding now. When you watch him, just keep an eye on the way he battles in the paint when a shot goes up.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Turioff comes in for Omer Ashik, and it's Watson in for Ellis.
You know, it's no secret around the league, guys, that the Suns either have one of the best medical staffs in the game or they've built their practice facility by the fountain of youth. More evidence of that came when Jermaine O'Neal found new tread on his well-worn tire.
Here's Turioff. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. Watson's got 3 assists tonight.
They've been good on all 3 of their shots since coming out of the locker room at the break.
Rubio outside. Rubio gets a screen from Verejao, doubled by Turioff. Verejao passes to Kirilenko. Rubio left side. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Rubio's got his second basket of the night. Well, Clark, as you said, a lot of the players that left the Suns last season, such as Steve Nash and Grant Hill, had trouble keeping their health up. And, Steve, I don't know, you've been in that organization. Whatever they are doing, that are keeping those players healthy and in top shape has been working. They are admirable in the way they have led that cause.
Well, it's a tremendous training staff. They've just always done a very good job of keeping their guys healthy by getting them in the training room every day for work, by combining the strength program with the training schedule. But a lot of confidence in that staff from the players, and I think it really shows.
And the basket good. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Shumpert against Harden. Down low. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Tim Duncan picks one up.
The big story in New Orleans, guys, is the change of the name. From the Hornets, a name that came with the team when they relocated from Charlotte, to the brand new Pelicans. Now, Pelicans might not be the most intimidating name around the league, but it does have a nice and special connection to the city and state.
Phoenix making some changes. Antoine Jameson's checked in for Verejao. Johnson comes in for Duncan. And it's Lee in for Andre Kirilenko. Well, Clark, and I really didn't know you knew this much about birds, but the brown pelican is indeed the state bird of Louisiana. Their numbers have rebounded dramatically after being hard hit by the Gulf spill. So a representation of the city's triumph, Steve, over great adversity.
Well, I'm happy it was something that is connected to the city. I'm talking about the name, the Pelicans, because remember, originally this team was known as the Jazz, and that made sense. Utah Jazz made no sense. New Orleans Hornets made no sense. New Orleans Pelicans make sense, guys.
Suns trail by 11. Blake kicks to Shumpert. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Blake misses.
Well, that was not a smart play there. That's a wild shot. They can get something better.
No, that's not smart basketball. He should have passed that shot up.
And Mbah-a-Moute kicks to Prince. The feed to Mbah-a-Moute. Misses the three. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Blake. He is guarded by Dang. Right side, Jamison goes up the baseline. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Jamison's got it back down to single digits for the Suns. Here's Ridnour. Can't hit. And we've reached the end of the third. Pelicans ahead, up by 9. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter.
Next Monday night, November 11th.
How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, let's do it. I love the way this play developed. He took what looked like a difficult pass and turned it into an easy basket.
New Orleans leading by 9. Luke Richard and Mbah-a-Moute out there with Omer Ashik. Then it's Ellis. Then there's Tayshaun Prince. And it's Martin in at the 2-guard spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. The jump hook, and it's good off the glass. Ashik's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Pelicans. Suns trail by 11. Blake kicks to Jamison. Kirilenko against Prince, and taken away by Ellis. Fast break, here we go. Throws it up high, out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the New Orleans Pelicans. Up next for them, the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
You know, some good games going on, and that Phoenix game especially has caught my eye.
Tipped away. Here's Blake. He's guarded by Ellis. Blake dishes to Kirilenko. Yep, it goes in, and the Pelican lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Blake.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Here's Ellis. No good. So Phoenix will take it the other way. Blake with it. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist.
Boy, Blake is so good at finding open teammates.
New Orleans leading by 6. Ellis kicks to Martin. He dishes it to Usher. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
That's been so critical, Clark, because whenever they have gotten the ball into the paint, it's resulted in points, it seems like.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Boozer, he's checked in for Mba'amoute. Green comes in for Tayshaun Prince. And it's Harden in for Kevin Martin. There's Lee with the 3. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And it's not just great offense, Clark. The defense is really lacking. Not enough energy on their closeouts.
Here's Hushik. Duncan with the block. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pelicans will retain possession. Rubio against Ellis. Just 4 to shoot. That drops. And the Pelicans lead by 7.
He was 1 step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
And Rubio kicks to Duncan. And Carlos Boozer gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Duncan. Count it, and the foul. They get Carlos Boozer.
Heard the whistle and still kept his focus, able to knock that down.
And that is not easy, Steve. I mean, to take the bump, to maintain control of your body, and put it in the hole, tremendous play. Tim Duncan's been playing well. He has 8 points and 1 rejection in this game, too.
And it was a good one, too. Really one of the highlights, I thought, of the game defensively.
Green kicks to Harden. Buries the long-range jumper.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
And the Suns call time. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to listen in on what Jeff Hornacek had to say to his team. He gave his guys the green light to keep firing from downtown, telling them, listen, I like the work you're doing out there. Keep finding those gaps on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots.
Duncan, that's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 6 assists now in the game.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Ellis goes in, and he gets it to go.
Well, they haven't gotten much production from him, but they remain in the lead.
Suns trail by 8. Lee passes to Rubio. Duncan up on top. He kicks to Kirilenko. If you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. For New Orleans, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Strong work at that end of the floor. The drive by Green. Boozer against Duncan. It's stolen by Duncan. And now here's Lee. The fast break opportunity.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
Here's Ellis. They get it back. Ashik dishes to Harden. Knocked away. Lee with the steal. For the finish, money!
Boy, that was a massive sequence of events there. Absolutely clutch defense to trigger the break.
And we've seen games decided on plays, Clark, just like that.
Effort and hustle plays often are big plays for a team.
Yeah, what a time to blow up a play and then turn it into a slam at the other end.
Rubio against Ellis. Shot clock at 6. For 3. That one goes. Count. And the Pelicans lead by 7.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Iman Shumpert's checked in for Lee. Phoenix with the ball. Good. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Perfect inbounds pass and an easy 2 points.
A bucket here would give them a bit more room.
And no need to rush it. Just play smart, get a good shot, make sure it's a well-executed offensive possession.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock.
Time running low here. They need a hoop.
Yeah, score quickly and then foul him right away.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
For New Orleans, they've gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the 4th quarter. And so they foul intentionally.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yep, you got to extend the game here. Try to keep that clock from moving.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
And I'll tell you what, those 2 free throws give them some much-needed breathing room, guys. It's now a 2-possession game.
Phoenix calls timeout. They're behind by 5. 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Well, they're drawing up the only thing they can here. Just get off a quick one and then go ahead and foul.
I think free throws are going to be front and center the rest of the way here.
And they go to the intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game. Here's Rubio. Outside Kirilenko. So we see the Pelicans get the win here. Both teams played well, but these guys had the